So Valentine's Day, you either hate it or you love it. Today we have more ways than ever to find your perfect mate. There's even a TV show where people are matched by their personalities and experiences. How crazy is this? The first time they ever see each other is at the altar.
I'm ready to be married. I'm ready to find somebody.
I think that you have one person, one soulmate.
6 singles who have done everything to find love. Now, they'll let a team of experts arrange their marriage.
I'm here to try and find you the love of your life.
I'm ready.
This is legal marriage.
Get married to a complete stranger? It's crazy. Like, who does that?
Most people aren't brave enough to do that, married at first sight. But our first guests have some other options, from good old-fashioned high-end matchmaking to the latest app where swiping is just rude. Jamie Rose is with Rose Matchmaking, and Stacey Lattis is the psychologist behind one of the latest dating apps based in Houston called New Mate. Good morning. Good morning. It's so crazy because one thing has never changed. It seems like after you get out of high school, if you don't go on to college, what do you do next? You got to get married. If you go to college, what do you do right after you graduate? Find that person and get married. Do you think the pressure today is not so much on people to get married right after high school and college?
I think it's changed a little bit, but with society today, everyone wants that instant gratification and they want things now, but I feel like people should take their time and get to know each other, but it's changed a little bit.
Yeah, and speaking of taking their time, you've been engaged for a while.
Yeah, very long time.
And you're comfortable in that.
Yeah, I'm happy. I don't really, like I told you before, I don't really feel like marriage was for me. I mean, technically we're married, but yeah, I just kind of, it's not for everyone, and I don't feel like I have to fit in that certain box and do what everyone else does. So.
And it's interesting coming from a matchmaker, right?
I know, I know.
And then Stacey, you say you've never been married and single by choice.
That is correct. Yes, I say when I was in my early 30s, I frantically dated, so I kind of felt that pressure to find someone and get married and have children, and then I decided, no, I can do this on my own. So I use an anonymous sperm donor, and I have twin 9-year-old boys.
Well, there you go. All right. So yeah, dating can be time-consuming. You have to vet people. Where do you meet them as well? You know, again, once you leave like college, where it's probably the most choice there, we kind of cocoon ourselves at work or in our homes, and it's harder to meet people. How did you decide to become a matchmaker?
Well, I worked with another company originally, and then I got to see what they did wrong. I even went undercover and interviewed with all the other companies in Houston, acted like I was single, and then built my company from the ground up based on what the clients wanted and what worked and what didn't work. It's really personalized, and I get to know all of my clients one-on-one, and then I match them with someone else in my database that I've also met. We do background checks, and I get to know every single person for who they really are and not just who they portray themselves to be.
And it seems to me if somebody shows up to a matchmaker, in this situation, it's more conducive to the person who now is serious about finding their true mate, right?
Yeah. They know what they want, but then I also, that's a fine line too, because I want to make sure that they're realistic in what they want and what they're putting out there, and that I can provide that as well. So.
All right, Stacey, we have apps today, which has kind of opened up a whole new world, but New Mate is a little bit different app, isn't it?
It's very different, and it's not just an app, it's a robust dating website. So, I mean, you can access it online or on a PC. It works on any platform, on any device, but it is pretty much the opposite of swipe dating.
What you all said was, this is rude. If you just start going, no.
Exactly, exactly. And with swipe dating, you are forced to make a very quick decision. Swipe dating apps were originally designed to be hookup apps, and they kind of continue to work in that way because, you know, you make a quick decision from the start. It lends itself to a quick encounter.
Yeah. And if that's what you're looking for, you know, more power to you. That's what you're looking for. But don't say you want one thing and then end up trying to just get another, right?
Exactly,
All
exactly.
Right. So as a full dating website, tell us what that looks like.
So you join our site for free, and you can set up a profile for free, and you can search for other members for free. And then we have sections called messages and groups, and the messages section is where you can talk directly to another member. The groups are just groups of common interest. So, you know, tennis group, wine lovers group, whatever. We've got some, you know, groups on there.
That wine lovers group is a big one, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yes, one of my favorites. Yes. So anyway, so you can go on these groups, and they have chat rooms where you can speak live to other members, and then they have a wall where you can post things that will stay on the group wall. We have events where you can post events, and So it's
the
a,
group
it's a
thing kind
setting.
of offers like somebody who's kind of shy. They can kind of enter it.
Exactly, and you can get to know a wide variety of people and talk to them kind of gradually, slowly meet people that you might have common interest with and
Yeah.
enjoy conversation with, and then eventually decide you might want to meet that person in
Yeah,
person.
and then of course, Jamie, in your situation, a little bit more pinpointed, right?
Yeah.
You've already kind of done that stuff
Yeah.
for people.
So I've already done the vetting and understand all the aspects of what they're looking for, all the way into what they want long term, what they like, what they don't like, deal breakers, physical attraction, all that. So.
Yeah, so nobody has to get their feelings hurt. 'Cause
No,
you can
well,
go
as people still get their
they'll
feelings
hurt, but not as much, right?
Yeah, I try
Because
to soften the blow.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like the executioner. So.
when you said you saw some things that other people were doing wrong, what did you perceive that was wrong?
Well, with dating services, like I don't want to say any.
Yeah,
like,
but just some of the other ones you saw.
Some are blind dating where you go in and they interview you and they get to know you, but then they're just using an algorithm, an actual website behind the scenes that's matching people, and then they just go and meet.
As opposed to you having a gut feeling and actually knowing
Yes.
somebody and doing the background check and the whole bit. All right, let's talk about some do's and don'ts of dating. Do be open to somebody who doesn't necessarily fit your box. If you've been dating the same person over and over again and it's never working out,
Yeah, that's a big one. I want people to be more open and not convince themselves that they have a type. Because if you convince yourself that you have a type, then you're only going to be looking for that. And let's say you've dated that type of person over and over again and that didn't work, then it's my job to step in and say, hey, stop doing that because it's not working. So
Yeah.
don't stick with this type. Don't convince yourself of that.
and as a psychologist, you know that sometimes people date who they think other people should see them dating, right?
Yes. But I like what you said about the algorithm thing because it's really not scientific. You know,
No.
there's something about meeting in person. There's non-quantifiable attraction that happens through conversation, through again meeting in person that can't be written
you
up in a
can't.
formula.
Yeah, and don't try to date somebody's job or wallet.
Absolutely.
That's a big one.
Girl, he a doctor.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if you want a true connection, it's not about money.
Yeah. And that is where I think a lot of people fall into trouble, isn't it? If you want that true connection, it is not about those things. All right, red flags to look out for.
Oh, there are plenty. Lack of communication. Someone who's dishonest. They're not starting off with the truth, and they have to continue that lie over and over again.
I had somebody tell me, he goes, yeah, I'm just secretive by nature. I go, secretive means dishonest in this case, right? Yeah, learn to like, I guess, listen with your third ear and use your third eye, right?
For sure. When you get into that relationship, if you feel like you have to change yourself as you're dating that person, those are things to look out for as well. You don't want to change who you are, and stick to your core and your gut.
All right, who is Rose Matchmaking for? What kind of client are you looking for?
It's for busy professionals that know what they want. They have a lot to offer as well. I say that my typical client, they come in and I go, okay, why are you single? Because I look at them and they are physically attractive and they look good on paper. You know, they have a great resume. Majority of the time, I say my clients are just wash, rinsing, and repeating. They go to work, they go to the gym, they hang out with the same circle of friends, and then they just do that over and over again, and they might not want to put themselves on an app or put themselves out there publicly.
Yeah.
So it's confidential and private, and I do all the picking and choosing, but I get the client's opinion as well. So
Yeah.
just for busy
Well, it's
professionals.
interesting you say like they have the great resumes. A resume, your professional resume, and your emotional self are two different people
Who, me?
oftentimes, right? No, I'm just saying. But you know, that's what we do. And going back to what I said earlier, dating a wallet or dating a job, is that you have to separate those two things. You can have a great resume, obviously
Somebody
shows
can look really
success
good on
and things
paper.
like that. That's great, but it doesn't
Right.
mean your emotional self is
Yeah.
there. Who is New Mate for?
New Mate is for any single Houstonian or any single person, but a unique thing about New Mate is that we have communities. So
Right.
you join the particular community, you're only going to be connected with other people in that same community.
Yeah.
So any single person who wants to meet other people, and we list what options you're looking for. You know, are you just looking to socialize? Are you
Right.
looking to date? Are you looking for a relationship?
And
Are
that
you
word
looking for
date, I'm going to
marriage?
bring that up because this came up in a conversation last week with a group of friends of mine. It's interesting. We oftentimes look at guys, and guys will say, I'm dating around, I date. And women, when we find that one person we go out with, we stay with that one person, not all the time. But the whole thing of, it seems like with this, it's a group that it's okay. Probably date more than one person in that group if you choose to, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And you're more about the Let's
Yeah,
make the match, see if
yeah.
that works.
It's
right.
more one-on-one, and then both clients have to give me feedback after they meet, so I get to hear from both sides. If one person says, I just didn't feel that chemistry, and that's a whole nother animal, though.
Yeah.
Breaking down chemistry and how someone defines chemistry, it can be different for every person.
Yeah.
But taking that information and saying, okay, this is what you're doing right or what you're doing wrong, and then ultimately getting them with the right person that they really click with, and then
Yeah.
we stick there, and then I kind of fade away after some time.
Yeah,
so
until
they
you
can
get
go
the
through
wedding
life
invitation and they go,
experiences.
hey, right?
Yeah.
Right.
There's
Well,
all kinds of crazy stuff.
and then I'm going to end up with how to deal with Valentine's, because for some people it's so depressing if they don't have that person in their life, and for other people it can be like, well, I didn't get this, or I was expecting the ring, or I was expecting that. So much that we put into this one day out of the year.
That's stressful, but I think that if people are just more open, or maybe even trying something different that they didn't do if they're single on Valentine's Day, maybe an event or doing like a girls' night, if you have more than one.
Galentine's, yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Then that could be fun, but try not to put all that pressure on yourself, because it's just a day at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah. And from your psychological point of view,
Very true. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes. I've recently learned the term Galentine's Day.
Yeah, right.
Yes, girls getting together. But it's interesting that you mentioned events, because New Mate is actually co-hosting a Single and Mingle event Friday evening at Kirby I's house. So
come on out.
Come
Yeah.
on out.
But sometimes it comes down to, like when you see on The Bachelor, for example, and the girl does not get a rose. You have known this guy for 5 minutes, ma'am. 5 minutes, and they're like, I just knew we had a future. But really, it's not really about that guy. What it's about is rejection. And so love yourself first, right? And take this day to love yourself first. You're worth more than one day. You're worth more than a dozen roses. You're worth more than chocolate. Well, no, that's crazy talk. Maybe not. But anyway, ladies, thank you very much.
Thank you, Deborah.
And if you're ready for a meaningful relationship, visit greatdayhouston.com and we will connect you to Rose Matchmaking and New Mate.